All right, I'm going to walk you through Flubaroo and how to use that with your Google Forms. I know it's a funny name, the kids all laugh. Flubaroo. But anyway, it's actually a great tool to use. I'm going to walk you through this. The Screencast-O-Matic is the software I'm using. It's online. If you go to screencast-o-matic.com, you could do basically screencast your screen and pick up your voice, and then you just basically upload it into YouTube, and you have videos that your students could watch. All right, so if we go to Google to create a form, this is the first thing we need to do. So you go to the Create button, go to Form, and if you want to pause me right now and just maybe make a quick form for me, and what you want to do when you make your form, you always want to ask a couple basic questions first, like what is your name? And we want to obviously make that text, and we want to make that required. That way, when your students submit their work, you don't miss their name. I made that mistake one time. And then, what is your email? So learn from my mistakes. Make sure you ask for their name. Once you do that, those are the two that you definitely want to start off with. Every form that you make, what is your name? What is your email? The reason why you want their email is once they take the quiz that you make for them, it's going to get graded, and they're going to get the results sent back for every question that they take. All right, so once you create your form, what you want to do is you want to, so let's say I make a form, pretend like I have all my questions here below. It's going to look something like this eventually. So here are all my questions. And so I have 10 questions for this formative assessment. And then once I create my quiz, I want to hit choose a response destination. And basically it's going to default to a new spreadsheet. It's going to take whatever name you have. So right now my name is Untitled Form. And then we hit create. And so basically now once I do that, I now want to send my form out to all my students to take the formative assessment. So now you're ready to go. And what it's going to do when the students take it, it's going to dump it into that spreadsheet that you created. So if I go up here, I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to email it to my students. So I just go into my email, and then I send them that link, or I put this on my website, and then they go to that link, and then they take the quiz. So if I go here, here's the link. Okay, and there's the quiz. Obviously I just did 2 quick questions here. And then when I hit submit, it's going to dump it in that Untitled spreadsheet. So it's in my folder here. It should be called Untitled. Okay, so you can see I practiced quite a bit with this. So here is the Untitled form that I just did. And then here's the Untitled form response. All right, and that's where it's going to put everything. So getting back to it, here's my quiz. I send it out to all my students, and then once they take it, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to give me a timestamp when they took it, along with all their names. And you'll notice as I scroll down here, I think I took this one. There I am. There's Joe Navickas. I took it here as the 13th person to take it. So here are the answers. It's important that you take it because you're going to use your name as the key. So let's recap real quick. 1, create your form. 2, create a spreadsheet destination. 3, send out the link to your students and make sure then that you take your quiz. And then once all your students have taken it, because you could see in here, I know how many students I have in class, and you could see when I did this originally, I didn't make this a mandatory question. You see 2 people left their name off of it, so I learned my lesson there. So don't make that same mistake. So now once all that takes place, is I'm going to have to install the Flubaroo into the spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So to install the Flubaroo, you go to Tools, Script Gallery. Not the most obvious place to put software, but that's where it's at. Tools and Script Gallery. And once that pops up, you're going to type in Flubaroo, Flubaroo. Search through it. There it is. You want to hit install. It's going to take a couple seconds here to install. And then it needs authorization, so you just hit continue. And then basically this app would like to know all this stuff, so you just hit accept. It's your school account. So once that takes place now, Flubaroo is now up here as a menu item. So I'm going to go to completed spreadsheet so you can see now how it looks on the graded end. I go up to Flubaroo. I want to, normally it'd say grade assignment. I'm going to hit regrade just so I could show you how this works. And it says this will replace your existing grade, so you're sure you want to continue. You hit yes. So the first step is to identify how many points you want for each question. So I have a point for every one. So now this is working through. So now the second step, it says, what do you want your answer key to be? So that's why it's important. Probably easier if I took it right away, but I kind of waited here. So here we go. Here is my key. I want myself to be the key. And I hit continue. And so now it's grading the assessment of all your students. It's really that simple. So it says the grades have been completed. The grades are down here. I hit view grades. So now it graded everything for me, and so it kind of gives me the scores, and the spreadsheet is pretty neat because it tells me basically how they did on each question. So obviously this question needs some work. As I kind of go through, everyone's pretty much doing pretty well on most of the questions here. And so this would be good then. I would probably definitely go over number 2 here. They're having a hard time with the purchasing concept. Up here at the top, it gives me kind of the overall, average. So this is a really neat thing. Now, from here, if I want to email it, I go to email grades. And so now I could email the grades to my students, and that's why it's important that you have that email question. Include list of questions and scores. You could include the answer key if you want. You could put a memo in there, whatever you want to do. I'm going to just exit out because I already got that email. So that's basically it. That's how you use Flubaroo. Have fun with it. I would practice with it. On a class that maybe it's a little more flexible in case something goes wrong. But really, you have to make sure you put the name in. You have to make sure you put the email in there, and then your assessment. Make sure your key is correct, and then it's just a nice way to really review concepts. If you want help with it, just feel free to email me or stop by my office, and I'd be more than happy to walk you through it if you're having problems with it. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great morning.